What's all this about giant planes? Ever looked up at a plane, seen it soaring high above like a tiny bird? Well, imagine a bird, but not tiny. Imagine one that's bigger than a football pitch. Sounds bonkers, doesn't it? But these giants of the sky are real. They are marvels of engineering, properly amazing machines built by clever people. We're going to talk about the biggest of them all. It's a story that will blow your socks off. Now, you might be thinking, why so big? What's the point of a plane that enormous? Is it just to show off? Well, not really. These colossal aircraft have very important jobs. They carry things other planes simply can't. Think massive generators or even space shuttles. It's all about doing the impossible, pushing the boundaries of what we think can fly. And trust me, these planes do just that. It's a tale of ambition and incredible skill. So buckle up, because this is going to be a massive ride. Let's explore the king of the giants, the one and only Antonov An-225 Mriya. Right, let's get straight to the superstar. The Antonov An-225 Mriya. The name Mriya means dream in Ukrainian. And what a dream it was. This wasn't just any big plane, oh no. For a long time it was the biggest. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the skies. It was a sight that would make your jaw drop. Truly a one-of-a-kind aircraft. A legend, and rightly so. This magnificent machine was a product of the Soviet Union. Designed and built by the Antonov Design Bureau. These chaps in Ukraine knew a thing or two about big planes. The An-225 first took to the skies in 1988. Imagine seeing that for the first time. It must have looked like a building had grown wings. Its purpose was very specific, very ambitious. But more on that a bit later on. For now, just picture this giant, a true titan of the air. When you talk about the Mriya, size matters. It was longer than a blue whale. So why on earth did anyone decide to build this monster? It wasn't just for carrying a lot of suitcases. The Mriya had a very important, very specific job. It was all tied up with the Cold War and the Soviet Union's own space shuttle program. They had a shuttle called Buran, a bit like NASA's, but they needed a way to carry it around. And that's where our giant friend comes in, a supersized taxi for a spaceship. Talk about a specialized delivery van. The Buran shuttle wasn't light, not by a long shot, and sometimes it needed to be moved, perhaps from where it was made to the launch site, or if it landed somewhere unexpected. Piggybacking it on a normal plane? Not a chance. They needed something with immense strength, something with a massive flat back. The Antonov engineers were given the task. Build us an aeroplane that can carry our spaceship, and crikey, did they deliver. The design was based on another big Antonov plane, the An-124 Ruslan, which is no small fry itself. But the Mriya needed to be even bigger, even stronger, so they stretched the Ruslan's fuselage. Building the Mriya wasn't like assembling flat-pack furniture. This was a monumental undertaking, a true challenge. Imagine the size of the factory needed. The engineers and workers faced huge problems. How do you even move parts that big around? The wings alone were absolutely enormous. Each component was on a scale rarely seen before. It required new techniques, new thinking, and a lot of very skilled hands. It was a testament to Soviet industrial might. The materials used had to be incredibly strong, but also as light as possible, a tricky balance. Aluminium alloys were key, of course, but also advanced composites in certain areas. Every kilo saved meant more cargo could be carried. The stresses on the airframe would be immense, especially when carrying something like the Buran shuttle, or incredibly heavy industrial equipment. So the internal structure was a work of art, a skeleton of pure engineered strength. Think about the landing gear for a moment. This plane could weigh up to 640 tons at takeoff. That's like having several blue whales trying to land, so it needed a lot of wheels, not just a few. Right, let's talk about what made this giant tick. It wasn't just big, it was clever too. Those 6 engines, for example, they were Progress D18T turbofans, each one capable of producing enormous thrust, over 50,000 pounds of thrust per engine. That's a mind-boggling amount of power, enough to get this colossal machine airborne and keep it cruising with a heavy load. They were the heart of this magnificent beast. The cockpit was a fascinating place as well. This was designed in the 1980s, remember? So it was a forest of dials, switches and gauges. not the sleek glass cockpits we see today. It needed a crew of 6 to operate it fully. 2 pilots, a navigator, flight engineers, a radio operator. Each had a vital role in taming the Maria. It was a complex machine requiring expert handling. Imagine the checklist for something this size. Proper teamwork was absolutely essential up there. One of the Maria's most distinctive features was its tail. Most planes have a single, central tail fin, but the Maria had a twin tail, 2 vertical stabilizers at the ends of its horizontal ones. We've said it's big, but let's get specific. Prepare to have your mind boggled by the numbers. The Antonov An-225 Maria was truly colossal. Its wingspan was 88.4 meters. That's wider than 5 double-decker buses parked end-to-end, or if you prefer, nearly the length of a football pitch. Just try to picture that. It's staggering. The sheer scale is hard to comprehend. It really was in a league of its own. A giant among giants, you might say. Its length was also impressive, at 84 meters. That's longer than the first ever powered flight. The Wright brothers' entire flight distance could fit inside it, and it stood over 18 meters tall. That's like a 6-story building with wings. You'd need a very, very tall ladder for window cleaning. These dimensions made it an awe-inspiring sight, whether on the ground or in the air. It dwarfed every other aircraft around it, a true behemoth of the skies. And what about its weight? This is where it gets serious. Its maximum takeoff weight was 640 tons. That's 640,000 kilograms. Imagine trying to get that much mass off the ground. It's equivalent to more than 10 main battle tanks, or about 100 fully grown African elephants. After its Soviet space duties fizzled out, the Maria found a new lease of life. It became the ultimate heavy-lift cargo plane. If you had something impossibly large or heavy, and it absolutely had to be moved by air, the Maria was your only realistic option. It was chartered by companies and governments worldwide, delivering everything from giant generators to emergency aid. It became a symbol of global logistics, a truly international flying machine. One of its famous jobs was delivering massive generators. Sometimes, after a natural disaster, power is critical. The Maria could fly in enormous power plant components, things that would take weeks or months by sea. It helped get electricity back on much faster. It also transported huge construction equipment, and even things like railway locomotives or long pipes. If it could fit or be strapped to the top, Maria could fly it. Its versatility was astounding for such a big beast. A gentle giant with a very important job. There are some brilliant stories about its development. For instance, the unique landing gear. Not only did it have 32 wheels, but the rear sets could actually steer. This helped this enormous aircraft maneuver on the ground. Now we come to a sad part of the Maria's story, a truly heartbreaking moment for aviation fans. In February 2022, the unthinkable happened. During the conflict in Ukraine, the Antonov An-225 Maria was destroyed. It was parked at its home base, Hostomel Airport. The airport became a scene of intense fighting, and tragically, the giant of the skies was lost. It was a devastating blow to the aviation world, a terrible loss of an iconic machine. The news sent shockwaves across the globe. People who had seen it, flown on it, or just admired it were deeply saddened by its destruction. This wasn't just any aircraft, it was the Maria, a symbol of Ukrainian engineering prowess. A unique piece of aviation history gone. Photos emerged showing the burnt-out wreckage. It was a difficult sight for many to see. The dream, Maria, had met a nightmarish end, a casualty of events far beyond its control. But the Maria's legacy lives on, strong and proud. It pushed the boundaries of what was possible. It showed what human ingenuity could achieve. It inspired countless engineers, pilots, and dreamers. Its records still stand as a testament to its capabilities. The Maria's story, though tinged with sadness, highlights the incredible things we can do in aviation. It proved that too big is often a temporary limit. Engineers are always looking for the next challenge. So what does the future hold for giant aircraft? Will we see another plane as big as the Maria, or perhaps even bigger? It's certainly possible. The need for heavy air transport isn't going away, especially for urgent, oversized or specialist cargo. The economics always play a part, of course. There are other big birds out there, of course. The Airbus Beluga XL for carrying plane parts, the Boeing Dreamlifter doing a similar job, and the Strato Launch Rock with its incredible wingspan. That one is designed to launch rockets from high altitude. Each has its own special purpose, its own niche, but none quite captured the all-round awe of the Maria. Perhaps its unique mission and sheer scale set it apart. The future might see more specialized giants, designed for very specific, very large tasks. Technology continues to march on relentlessly. New materials, lighter and stronger than ever, more efficient and powerful engines are being developed. Perhaps even new propulsion systems one day. All this could make even larger aircraft feasible and more economical to operate, which is key.